What is up, friends? So, I'm going to talk a little bit about a subject that I have come out on podcasts and said that I felt certain ways about, and that is eSports and the generalization of calling it a sport. Kyle and I actually discussed this on one of our previous podcasts, which you can go check out at fortunegaming.com or get it on iTunes or on SoundCloud. You can check out what we do. It's just a conversational podcast between me and Kyle. But that being said, I do want to bring this in because this has kind of come up in conversation in the actual general sports world, which a lot of you guys who watch this may not be involved in the general sports world as much as I am, and my love of football and my following of baseball and hockey and things like that. So let me start by saying this. I'm going to talk a lot about a guy named Colin Cowherd. He used to be an ESPN radio host, was recently dismissed because of actual comments that he made that were against Dominicans in baseball, not because of these comments about esports. So let me make that very clear. He and ESPN had a disagreement. From what I understand, he actually never apologized. So let's start with that. But what he did say is that if, because ESPN had a, I believe it was a League of Legends tournament or a Dota, one of the two, I forget, and I apologize, I don't have it right in front of me, but they had a tournament and they were airing it on ESPN. And this was a very big deal because Colin said that if ESPN ever did a great deal with them and actually had esports on in this way continually, he would leave the company and he would leave it completely. He recently just had a video come out of him because he does a simulcast on Fox Sports of his radio show, so you can actually see him talking with his random people in the booth and, you know, how cool his set looks and all that other crap, whatever. The point is, he's on there, and this video, he talks about the fact of Turner, the company Turner is actually using TBS to actually have a new competitive video gaming league going to be on their program exclusive to TBS, which is really great for people who have been wanting to see esports in more of a active environment. So that being said, it's a really great movement. Now let's get out to what Colin said and then come into my comments about how I agree with him in some ways and in other ways where I think that his idea and his thinking is backwards. So let's start with this. He says that it's not real sports. They showed a video of the famous one where they're playing Street Fighter and the guy gets up because he's all excited that he thought he won and the game's still happening and he loses. And then he plays a tongue-in-cheek clip of himself reporting what Brandon is doing after the tournament, going to his mom's house, getting a Hot Pocket, putting the Hot Pocket into the microwave. Ooh, look at the cheese. And then goes up to his bedroom where a woman has never been. So let me pull this back real quick. All right. That is a tongue-in-cheek thing, and he's obviously just making fun of a situation. That's not really what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is the fact that I honestly believe that that's exactly what Colin Cowherd thinks when he sees these people, when he sees us as gamers playing competitively, and when you guys come watch me play games, or you watch Kyle play games. Like, nobody really understands what that's like or why people even do that, why you guys would even want to listen to me talk about this crap. So the fact is that they're from a different generation. If they don't understand it, that's fine. But what it all comes down to is the fact that he is totally against that becoming called a sport. Now, Kyle and I got in a debate about this, about what makes a sport, and it's about reaction, it's about talent, it's about can you do what somebody else can do. But then, well, technically, isn't making a pizza faster than somebody else, is that a sport? I don't know. We can go into that. But the fact is that if Colin Cowherd thinks that this isn't something that people should be investing in and going into, then he's crazy to think about that. He's not paying attention to the fact that Twitch just got sold to Amazon for a ridiculous amount of money, and then YouTube, who doesn't really even need help, who doesn't really even need any more help to get money or get people to draw to it, because you click on a link, you're going to a YouTube video. That's how you got here. And so the fact is that YouTube doesn't need gaming's help, because most likely people are recording on Twitch, sending their highlights to YouTube anyway. YouTube doesn't need a gaming thing. But what do? They put a lot of time in recruiting people to get into YouTube gaming. So what I'm trying to say here is that, we're bringing it all full circle. Colin Cowherd, if you ever watch this or you ever pay attention to this stuff, I just think that you are backwards on this whole situation. I don't think that you understand the entire complexity. And don't get me wrong, I stand by the fact that, you know, calling it a sport is a little weird, but also at the same time, we don't have a definition of what sport is. We don't have a true line. It's a competition. It's a competition between a couple people with some sort of ability. And if Mr. Cowherd, if you don't believe that it takes some sort of athletic ability or some ability to play those video games at the level that those people do, I would love for you to come over to my house. This is a personal invitation. I'll come to you if you want to. Let's just play a couple rounds of Super Smash Brothers, which I am not great at, and I guarantee I will kick your butt. It's because the fact that you don't understand about the situation, about how these people do it, and about how they're good. Let's see you try, is my thing, is my point of view, right? If you don't think that you have the talent and this doesn't take talent, then you should be just as good as the next guy at it. That's my point of view on it. Now, taking out Colin Cowherd, let's just talk about my point of view. I believe that he is correct in some way, shape, or form in the way of we can't just generalize this whole thing as esports, and I think that we should change the name. I think as a community, yeah, now we're using esports, and that's fine, but it is competitive gaming is what we should call it, or competitive something, because the fact that you're lumping it in with a sport is making it hard, right? It's making it hard for us to get this exposure that we want to, because people are like, sport? Excuse me? And all these people who are over the age of 30 are sitting here going, sport? What the crap, right? So it's hard for us to actually break that in. But the big news is that gamers, if you're looking for more competitive multiplayer and you're looking for more competitive gaming, guess what? It's coming to TBS. So if you already aren't subscribing to your local cable and getting that, support TBS. If you want to support that, show up for that. Make sure you're watching it. They will announce more details in a couple of days. But guys, this is amazing for you guys as that. I am all in favor of changing the generalization of esports to something else. I would love that, but also at the same time, I don't think I'm going to win that battle. But, you know, be prepared, gamers. Be prepared across the board to have people like Colin Cowherd, like your parents, come out and not understand this, to not understand what is going on and why I would want to sit down and watch other people. Right? Why you guys want to come to our live streams and talk to me while I play Until Dawn? Why? Why do people want to do that? They're not going to understand. I encourage you, if you guys see Kyle put a video back about let's just be nicer to each other as gamers. Kyle put that video out. I encourage you guys to go watch it. You know, give these guys your opinions. You know, same thing with Jimmy Kimmel a couple months ago actually, put out a video that was just like about the competitive gaming and was ripping it up and down, and he ripped gamers because of the way that we commented and told them to die, things like that. Reel it in, guys. Make sure that you are giving yourself, making our community look intelligent. Make sure that you are going in there and saying something like, Jimmy, I understand your position, but you don't understand what's going on because you've never been here. You've never understood what it's like. You've never competitive gamed in your entire life, so how can you make this judgment against us? Telling someone to die over this, and the comments on Cowherd's video is very similar. Telling people to die over this is just absolutely ridiculous. Or get cancer. Come on, guys. Seriously. They're not attacking you personally. Don't take it personally. Formulate a thought, put it out there, use proper English and proper grammar, or whatever language that you would like to do it, use proper grammar, and just go in and make your point. Because the problem that we're going to be facing is that we will always be seen as a community of people who are lazy, who live in our grandmother's basement or our mom's basement, or mom's still making us Hot Pockets, as long as we continue to take things to this level of I'm going to kill you because you have a different opinion than I do about esports. So that's my point of this video. Sorry it's a little bit long. Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. But in the meantime, guys, let's just be positive about video games. Let's be positive that they're getting any sort of exposure, that they're being seen as art, that they're being seen as something that's competitive, and most of all, something that will be growing and getting bigger over the next couple of years. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love video games. I love that we can all talk about them and be a community together. So let's keep at it. So with that being said, my name is Seth. You can find me at Frocore8 on everything in the entire internet area except for Twitter. You'll find me at SGMento8, which should be right here, hopefully, if I can get it there. So thank you very much, guys, and check out our other videos on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and of course comment. Have a good one.